The phenomenon of jinn possession and the influence of black magic are topics that have intrigued and concerned many people across various cultures and religions. Within the Islamic tradition, the existence of jinn is well documented, and there are clear guidelines on how to recognize their influence and protect oneself. This guide aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of the signs of jinn possession and the steps one can take to address this spiritual affliction. When an individual suspects that they are under the influence of black magic or jinn possession, it is crucial to distinguish between spiritual issues and mental health concerns. Recognizing the symptoms and understanding the appropriate actions to take can provide clarity and relief. Through faith, knowledge, and practical steps, one can navigate this challenging situation with confidence and trust in Allah. The first step in addressing any spiritual affliction is to recognize the symptoms. One of the most telling signs of jinn possession or black magic is a dramatic change in a person's behavior or personality. Imagine someone you know who is always cheerful, talkative, and sociable. Suddenly, this person becomes withdrawn, avoids social interactions, and exhibits signs of deep-seated fear or depression. This kind of radical personality shift can be alarming and is often one of the earliest indicators that something is amiss beyond ordinary psychological issues. In addition to behavioral changes, physical symptoms may also manifest. These can include frequent headaches, unexplained body pains, and a general sense of lethargy or fatigue. The afflicted person might also experience disturbances in their sleep, such as severe nightmares, insomnia, or sleepwalking. These physical symptoms are often accompanied by an overall feeling of unease and distress, making daily life increasingly difficult. Another notable sign is an aversion to religious practices. A person who previously found peace and solace in prayer, reading the Quran, or attending religious gatherings may suddenly feel a strong resistance to these activities. This aversion is not due to a loss of faith, but rather a direct influence of the jinn, who seek to isolate the individual from spiritual sources of strength and protection. It is also common for those affected to spend an excessive amount of time in the toilet. This peculiar behavior is significant because, according to Islamic teachings, jinn inhabit unclean places. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to say a specific supplication when entering the toilet to seek protection from the evil entities that dwell there. An increase in time spent in such places can indicate the presence and influence of jinn. The most definitive sign, however, is the reaction to the live recitation of the Quran. When the Quran is recited over the afflicted person, they may exhibit unusual and involuntary reactions, such as shaking, screaming, or displaying signs of extreme discomfort. This reaction is almost a conclusive indication of jinn possession, as the spiritual energy of the Quran agitates and exposes the jinn within. Upon recognizing these symptoms, the next crucial step is to consider self-treatment before seeking external help. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the importance of self-reliance in spiritual matters. He mentioned that 70,000 members of his ummah community would enter paradise without any accountability. And one of their distinguishing features is that they did not seek Ruqyah, spiritual healing, from others, instead relying solely on Allah. To begin self-treatment, one should first strengthen their faith and connection with Allah. This can be achieved through regular prayers, recitation of the Quran, and sincere supplications. The intention behind these actions is crucial. They should be performed with the belief that Allah is the ultimate healer and protector. Reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, known as the opening chapter of the Quran, is particularly powerful. This surah is often referred to as a source of healing, and its recitation should be done with a focused intention of seeking a cure from Allah. In one well-known incident, the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, used Surah Al-Fatiha to cure a man bitten by a scorpion. This story illustrates the profound spiritual power contained within the Quranic verses. By reciting Al-Fatiha over oneself or even over water and then drinking it, one can invoke Allah's healing power to address the affliction. The key is to maintain a sincere intention and unwavering faith in Allah's ability to cure all ailments, both physical and spiritual. Another effective method of self-treatment involves reciting the last two surahs of the Quran, Al-Falaq and An-Nas. These chapters specifically seek protection from all forms of evil, including black magic and the harmful influence of Jinn. Reciting these surahs regularly, particularly during the morning and evening, can fortify one's spiritual defenses against any malevolent forces. Additionally, maintaining regular acts of worship, such as the 5 daily prayers, fasting, and giving charity, can help cleanse the soul and strengthen one's spiritual resilience. Certain surahs in the Quran hold particular significance when it comes to combating the effects of black magic and jinn possession. Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Nas, often referred to as the Mu'awwidat, the verses of seeking refuge, are especially potent in this regard. These surahs were revealed as a means of protection from all forms of evil and harm. Their recitation creates a spiritual shield that can ward off the influences of malevolent entities. Surah Al-Falaq seeks refuge in Allah from the evil of what He has created, the darkness as it descends, the evil of witches who blow on knots, and the evil of the envier when they envy. Each verse addresses specific sources of harm and seeks Allah's protection against them. This surah is particularly effective in neutralizing the effects of magic, as it directly addresses the harm caused by those who practice sorcery. Surah An-Nas, on the other hand, seeks refuge in Allah from the evil of the whisperer, who whispers in the hearts of mankind. This surah is a powerful tool against the psychological and emotional torment caused by jinn possession. By reciting it with sincerity and faith, one can seek Allah's protection from the insidious whispers and manipulations of the jinn. To maximize the effectiveness of these surahs, they should be recited regularly, especially in the morning and evening. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recommended reciting these surahs as part of the daily supplications, adhkar, for morning and evening, as well as before sleeping. Doing so not only provides protection, but also instills a sense of spiritual calm and reassurance. In addition to these surahs, other verses of the Quran can also be recited for protection and healing. Ayat al-Kursi, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:255, is one of the most powerful verses in the Quran. It describes the greatness of Allah and His complete control over the heavens and the earth. Reciting Ayat al-Kursi after each of the 5 daily prayers, before sleeping, and at any time when seeking protection, can help fortify one's spiritual defenses. Another potent set of verses comes from Surah Al-Baqarah 2:285-286. These concluding verses of the surah encapsulate the themes of faith, obedience, and supplication for Allah's help and forgiveness. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized their recitation, stating that whoever recites them at night, they will suffice him, providing comprehensive protection and peace. While self-treatment is highly encouraged, there may be cases where the affliction is severe and external help is necessary. However, it is essential to be cautious when seeking help, as not all who claim to be healers are genuine. The prevalence of fake healers and charlatans is a significant concern, and identifying them is crucial to avoid further harm. One common tactic used by fake healers is the provision of talismans, ta'weez, that supposedly contain Quranic verses or spiritual protection. Upon closer inspection, these talismans often reveal unknown languages, symbols, and diagrams rather than Quranic text. Such items are, in fact, additional magic spells intended to summon jinn and worsen the individual's condition. Genuine Ruqyah practitioners will never resort to such dubious methods. A true healer will rely solely on the recitation of the Quran and authentic supplications, du'as, from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They will recite Quranic verses over the afflicted person and may also blow over water or olive oil after recitation, which the person can then drink or apply. The emphasis is always on the power of Allah's words and the proper application of the Sunnah. It is also crucial to ensure that the healer does not charge exorbitant fees or make unrealistic promises. Genuine practitioners often do not seek monetary gain from their services, as their primary intention is to help and seek the pleasure of Allah. They will guide the afflicted person through the process with compassion and sincerity, emphasizing the importance of maintaining faith and turning to Allah for ultimate healing. If you encounter a healer who uses strange incantations, rituals, or demands unusual sacrifices, it is a clear sign of a charlatan. Authentic Islamic healing is straightforward and relies entirely on the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah. The healer's demeanor should reflect piety, humility, and a genuine desire to help, rather than a focus on financial gain or performing elaborate rituals. In conclusion, recognizing the signs of jinn possession and black magic is the first step in addressing these spiritual afflictions. Through self-treatment, recitation of specific Quranic surahs, and careful selection of genuine healers, one can navigate these challenges with faith and trust in Allah. The journey may be difficult, but with the proper knowledge and reliance on Allah, healing and protection are always within reach. Expand Chapter 5, 6, and 7. Make them as long as possible without writing down the headings, chapters. Make the script entirely different than the one above. ChatGPT. An understanding of the nature of jinn, black magic, and their impact on human beings is essential for dealing with these spiritual afflictions effectively. While belief in jinn is a fundamental aspect of Islamic faith, it is equally important not to let this belief turn into paranoia. Jinn are created by Allah, and their existence is a test for mankind. Proper knowledge and reliance on Allah's guidance can help individuals manage and overcome any adverse effects caused by jinn or black magic. Magic, regardless of its form, is considered haram, forbidden in Islam. There is no such thing as harmless or white magic. All forms of magic are prohibited and can potentially lead to disbelief, kufr. Magic is often associated with the invocation of jinn and the use of occult practices that go against the principles of Islam. It is crucial to understand that any engagement with magic is a serious violation of Islamic teachings and can have severe consequences on one's faith and spiritual well-being. If an individual suspects that they are affected by magic, the first step is to verify that the symptoms are not related to mental health issues. Consulting with a general practitioner, GP, or a qualified health professional can help rule out medical conditions that might be causing similar symptoms. Mental health issues can often manifest in ways that resemble the signs of jinn possession or black magic, such as changes in behavior, depression, or anxiety. A thorough medical evaluation is necessary to ensure that the correct diagnosis is made and appropriate treatment is provided. Once medical causes are ruled out, the individual can proceed with self-treatment through Ruqyah. Ruqyah involves reciting specific Quranic verses and supplications for protection and healing. This process should be done with sincerity, faith, and the intention of seeking help from Allah alone. The Quran is a source of immense spiritual power, and its verses can provide relief and protection from all forms of evil, including black magic and jinn possession. Performing Ruqyah regularly and with conviction can help cleanse the individual's soul and restore their spiritual well-being. If self-treatment proves insufficient or too challenging, seeking help from a qualified Ruqyah practitioner is the next step. It is important to ensure that the practitioner adheres strictly to Islamic teachings and does not employ any un-Islamic methods. Genuine Ruqyah practitioners will use Quranic recitation and authentic supplications from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They will avoid any form of occult practices or rituals that are not supported by Islamic principles. A person with strong faith and adherence to religious practices is not immune to the effects of magic. Even the most devout individuals can be affected, as evidenced by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself. Despite his unparalleled faith and devotion, he was once affected by magic. This incident demonstrates that being afflicted by magic does not necessarily indicate weak faith. It is a test from Allah, and the response to such a test should be patience, perseverance, and increased reliance on Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, experienced the effects of magic cast by a notorious magician in Medina. This incident is well documented in Islamic tradition and provides valuable lessons for dealing with similar afflictions. The Prophet, peace be upon him, exhibited symptoms of forgetfulness and confusion, believing he had done things that he had not. This situation caused significant distress, but through divine intervention and guidance, the magic was eventually nullified. The process of treating the Prophet, peace be upon him, involved the revelation of specific surahs, Al-Falaq and An-Nas, which are now widely used in Ruqyah for protection and healing. These surahs address the harm caused by black magic and seek refuge in Allah from the evil of envious people, sorcerers, and jinn. The recitation of these surahs, along with other Quranic verses, played a crucial role in the Prophet's recovery, illustrating the power and efficacy of the Quran in combating spiritual afflictions. This incident underscores the importance of maintaining strong faith and continuing religious practices even when afflicted by magic. Regular prayers, Quran recitation, and supplications are vital in seeking protection from Allah. Although a person may be afflicted despite their piety, their faith can mitigate the impact and facilitate their recovery. It is essential to remember that afflictions are a test from Allah, and enduring them with patience and trust in Allah can lead to spiritual growth and reward. The use of Quranic verses and supplications is not limited to spiritual afflictions. They can also be effective in addressing physical ailments. The story of the companions using Surah Al-Fatiha to cure a man bitten by a scorpion demonstrates the versatility of Quranic healing. The companions' faith and reliance on Allah enabled them to use a spiritual remedy for a physical problem, illustrating that Quranic healing encompasses both spiritual and physical aspects of health. In the case of medical problems with potential spiritual causes, it is important to seek conventional medical treatment while also incorporating Quranic healing. This dual approach ensures that all aspects of the problem are addressed. For instance, if a person is suffering from a severe illness like cancer, they should follow their prescribed medical treatment while also seeking Allah's help through prayer and Quranic recitation. This holistic approach can provide comprehensive care and support the individual's recovery on both physical and spiritual levels. The belief in the protective power of the Quran extends to safeguarding one's home from the influence of jinn. Jinn are known to inhabit unclean places, abandoned areas, and other locations that are generally avoided by humans. To prevent jinn from entering one's home, it is essential to take proactive measures. Regular recitation of Surah Al-Baqarah, as recommended by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, can provide strong protection. This surah is known for its powerful verses that repel jinn and other malevolent entities. Additionally, making the appropriate supplications when entering and leaving the home can create a spiritual barrier against jinn. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught specific du'as, supplications, for entering the home, seeking Allah's protection from any harm. Maintaining cleanliness, especially in areas like the toilet, where jinn are known to reside, is also crucial. Following the sunnah, traditions, of the Prophet in matters of personal hygiene and cleanliness can help prevent jinn from finding a place in one's home. Keeping oneself in a state of wudu, ritual purity, is another effective way to protect against jinn. Wudu serves as a physical and spiritual purification, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized its importance. He stated that no one keeps their wudu except a believer, indicating that maintaining wudu is a sign of faith. By staying in a state of wudu, a person not only fulfills a religious obligation, but also gains an extra layer of protection from jinn and other spiritual harms. In summary, dealing with jinn possession and black magic requires a multifaceted approach that combines strong faith, adherence to religious practices, and the use of Quranic healing. Recognizing the symptoms, differentiating between spiritual and medical issues, and seeking appropriate treatment are key steps in managing these afflictions. Whether through self-treatment or the help of a qualified Ruqyah practitioner, the power of the Quran and the guidance of Islamic teachings provide the tools needed to overcome these challenges and restore spiritual well-being. Expand Chapter 8, 9, 10, and 11 and make them as long as possible. Without writing down the headings, chapters, make the script entirely different than the one above. ChatGPT. Understanding the nature and behaviors of jinn, as well as implementing measures to protect oneself and one's home from their influence, is crucial. Jinn, by their nature, inhabit places that are generally avoided by humans, such as unclean areas, abandoned places, and toilets. To prevent jinn from entering your home and causing disturbances, several preventive measures should be taken. These measures include regular recitation of certain Quranic surahs, maintaining cleanliness, and observing specific Islamic practices. One of the most effective ways to protect your home from jinn is by regularly reciting Surah Al-Baqarah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the protective power of this surah, noting that reciting it creates a barrier that prevents jinn from entering the home. Surah Al-Baqarah contains verses that are powerful in repelling evil forces and ensuring spiritual protection. If one is unable to recite the entire surah regularly, playing its recitation in the home can also provide protection. Another important measure is to make specific supplications when entering and leaving the home. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught his followers to say certain du'as, supplications, to seek Allah's protection from any harm. Upon entering the home, one should say, Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum, in the name of Allah, peace be upon you. And upon leaving, Bismillah, Tawakkaltu ala Allah, in the name of Allah, I place my trust in Allah. These supplications invoke Allah's protection and create a spiritual shield around the home. Maintaining cleanliness in the home, especially in areas like the toilet, is also crucial. Jinn are known to reside in unclean places, and ensuring that the home is clean and hygienic can prevent them from finding a place to dwell. Following the sunnah, traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in matters of personal hygiene and cleanliness, is essential. This includes performing the recommended supplications and practices before entering the toilet, such as saying, Bismillah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith. In the name of Allah, O Allah, I seek refuge with you from all evil and evildoers. Staying in a state of wudu, ritual purity, provides an extra layer of protection against jinn. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, highlighted the importance of maintaining wudu, stating that it is a sign of faith. Wudu serves as both a physical and spiritual purification, and by staying in a state of wudu, one gains protection from spiritual harms. Making wudu regularly, especially before going to bed, ensures that one is spiritually fortified against any jinn that might attempt to cause harm during the night. It is also beneficial to regularly recite the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, 285-286, before going to sleep. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recommended this practice, stating that these verses will suffice the person who recites them, providing protection throughout the night. These verses, which highlight the importance of faith, obedience, and seeking Allah's help, create a spiritual shield that wards off any evil forces. When it comes to recognizing the presence of jinn in the home, certain signs may become evident. These can include sudden and unexplained disturbances, such as objects moving on their own, strange noises, or a general feeling of unease. If such signs are observed, it is important to remain calm and seek Allah's protection through prayer and Quranic recitation. Reciting Ayat al-Kursi, Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and 255, is particularly effective as it describes the greatness of Allah and His complete control over the heavens and the earth. Ayat al-Kursi is known for its protective power and can help dispel any evil presence in the home. If the disturbances persist, seeking the help of a qualified Ruqyah practitioner may be necessary. A genuine practitioner will use Quranic recitation and authentic supplications to cleanse the home and provide protection. It is important to ensure that the practitioner follows Islamic principles and does not employ any un-Islamic methods or rituals. The focus should always be on the power of Allah's words and the proper application of the Sunnah. In addition to these measures, maintaining a strong connection with Allah through regular acts of worship, such as the 5 daily prayers, fasting, and giving charity, is essential. These acts not only fulfill religious obligations, but also strengthen one's spiritual resilience and provide protection against all forms of evil, including jinn. By staying close to Allah and adhering to Islamic teachings, one can create a spiritually fortified environment that repels jinn and other malevolent entities. When considering the worst-case scenarios of jinn influence, it is important to understand that their impact can vary greatly. In some cases, jinn may cause minor disturbances, while in others, their influence can be more severe. The worst-case scenario involves the jinn causing significant physical and psychological harm, such as inflicting illnesses, creating discord within the family, or even possessing individuals. Such severe cases require immediate and comprehensive spiritual intervention, including intensified Quranic recitation, supplications, and seeking help from qualified practitioners. The question of accountability for actions taken under the influence of jinn is also a significant concern. In Islamic teachings, a person is only accountable for their actions if they have control over their faculties. During moments of jinn possession, when a person's body is overtaken, they are not held accountable for their actions. This is because the person is not in a rational state of mind and is not fully aware of their actions. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stated that the pen is lifted from 3 individuals: the sleeper until he awakens, the child until he reaches maturity, and the insane until he regains sanity. In the context of jinn possession, the individual is temporarily in a state similar to insanity, and therefore, their actions during possession are not held against them. However, it is important for the person to seek treatment and strive to regain control over their faculties. Once they have recovered, they are responsible for their actions and must continue to adhere to Islamic teachings and practices. Addressing jinn possession requires a multifaceted approach that includes spiritual, psychological, and physical interventions. The affected individual should continue to engage in regular acts of worship, such as prayer, Quran recitation, and supplications, to seek Allah's help and protection. It is also beneficial to seek support from family and friends who can provide emotional and spiritual assistance during this challenging time. Understanding that being tested by Allah through afflictions such as jinn possession is a part of the believer's journey is crucial. Just as a person may be tested with physical ailments like cancer or other medical conditions, spiritual afflictions are also tests of faith. These tests are opportunities for spiritual growth and strengthening one's connection with Allah. By approaching these challenges with patience, perseverance, and unwavering faith, the individual can overcome them and emerge spiritually stronger. In addition to spiritual practices, seeking professional help from qualified Ruqyah practitioners and mental health professionals can provide comprehensive care and support. Ruqyah practitioners can address the spiritual aspects of the affliction, while mental health professionals can help with any psychological effects. This holistic approach ensures that all dimensions of the problem are addressed, leading to a more effective and lasting resolution. Finally, it is important to maintain a positive outlook and trust in Allah's wisdom and mercy. Allah tests His servants in various ways, and enduring these tests with faith and patience brings immense rewards. By remaining steadfast in their faith and relying on Allah's guidance, individuals can navigate the challenges posed by jinn possession and black magic, ultimately achieving spiritual growth and protection. Through understanding the nature of jinn and black magic, implementing preventive measures, and seeking comprehensive treatment, one can effectively manage and overcome these spiritual afflictions. With faith, knowledge, and reliance on Allah, individuals can create a spiritually fortified environment that repels jinn and other malevolent entities, ensuring their well-being and peace of mind.